Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared12 here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Mil Mi-10. The Mi-10, known by the NATO reporting name as Harke, is a Soviet military transport helicopter of flying crane configuration, developed from the Mi-6, entering service in 1963. While most versions have been retired by 2009, the short-legged Mi-10K was still in service as of 2014. The version we have in front of us here is the K version, which your main difference here is going to be basically a little bit of a longer wheelbase, but for the most part it is still the same aircraft. This one here in particular is also done up in kind of the more Russian, I guess, Air Force's colors with a couple shades of blue and white. So overall, pretty cool helicopter. It's a pretty interesting build. We haven't really done any sky cranes or anything like that of the sort, and I really kind of actually want to take a look at doing the kind of American, I guess, equivalent sky crane as well, which I think is a really cool helicopter. This year, obviously, really cool as well. It's a massive helicopter as well, and just overall pretty cool build, and should be a fun one to add to your worlds where you have anything Russian or anything like that going on. Before we go ahead and jump into this build, I do want to go ahead and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more you already do, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video description, where you can go and put a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so earn a video request to your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel. It's really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out. Again, link for that is always in my video descriptions. With that though, let's go ahead and dive in here to take a look at the Mi-10 Harke. So going ahead and getting started here, we have the front cockpit here of the aircraft. Really nothing too fancy, just pretty standard helicopter front. Just, you know, some little windows, some little kind of kick out panels. Obviously, a lot of windows here, some high visibility. We then have the bottom little box here, which allows a kind of operator or a scout, or not really a scouter, but like a spotter, for helping maneuver the helicopter to pick up its cargo. As I mentioned, this one here is kind of, you can tell it apart from the other versions because it has a kind of longer wheelbase and sets a little bit taller. So you have your wheelbase here, and then all of your rigging set up to actually be able to pick up payloads. We then have the siding of the aircraft, the inlets here for the engines, and also external fuel tanks. Obviously, the props here is a 5-bladed helicopter, so it is pretty, got some pretty big blades on it. We then have the kind of back trailing edge here of the helicopter. Again, really nothing too crazy, and we get to the vertical stabilizer, which is pretty cool design. It's kind of a thick stabilizer that kind of mellows out, and I think it came out really nice. So overall, that's pretty much the overview here for the Harke. Overall, really cool helicopter, and something a little more unique on the channel, as like I said, we haven't really done any of these type of cargo type helicopters. Anyways though, without further ado, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer, we will be going ahead and beginning with layer 5. Now we are starting with layer 5 because we get a kind of better basis of the helicopter built in this layer, and we can kind of go up and down real easily and just kind of add on to it from this point in time. A few things that I want to mention though before we go ahead and get started is first being that if you are completely new to my aircraft tutorials, the way I like to structure these tutorials, I like to do half on camera, half off. What this means is we're going to be building the entire center line of the helicopter, and then the right side on camera. The left side would be up to you guys to copy over in between layers. This aircraft is pretty much symmetrical. There are maybe like a few things here and there that are asymmetrical, and we'll talk about those a little bit more in greater detail once we get to those points. However, just know that unless said otherwise, whatever we do on one side will be done on the other. In addition, if you do want to build the aircraft landed, you will want to make sure that layer 5 here sits basically on the 5th level up from the ground level. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 blocks of space between the bottom here of layer 5 and basically the ground level. So again, if you want to position this aircraft on the ground, kind of landed, you're more than welcome to. If you want to build this flying, then obviously that doesn't really concern you. Just make sure you're not going to run into the height limit or anything like that. Anyways though, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go and start off by placing down a black stained glass block like so, and then an air brick upside down stair. We're going to go ahead and skip 2 blocks forward, and we're going to go and then place down we're going to place down 1 block forward. We're going to go and then place down a barrier block and then a end rod. So it's going to look like this here. we'll then delete this block like that. If you are curious how to get the barrier blocks for Java players, you can type in the command /give @p barrier, and it'll be this command right here. You'll press enter, and you'll get a barrier block that we just used. If you're on a different version, I do believe they're called structure blocks. I've also heard that they do have barrier blocks on the other version, so just kind of look and see what you have access to, but you basically want an invisible block that you can place down items on and come off of. After that, we're going to go back from this glass here, and we're going to be going ahead and placing down a long row here of cyan concrete. So we're going to go and go back a row of cyan concrete for a total of 17 blocks. We're going to go then place down a polished block of netherite, just a block of netherite, a polished black stone wall, and another block of netherite. We'll continue on with our cyan concrete, going all the way to the rear of the aircraft, and we're going to go ahead and go for 36 blocks in length after that block of netherite up there. And then we're going to place down a cyan stained glass pane on the end here, and then we'll just place a block kind of up from it at an angle, and we're going to place an end rod on the bottom of the block. So it looks like that there for the tail. After that, we're going to go to the side of the tail here. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 glass panes forward. Then grabbing our warp stairs, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 warp stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sand concrete, blocking to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 sand concrete forward. Then a block of netherite like so, and then a wither skeleton skull on both sides of the stair. After that, we're going to go to the second cyan concrete block. We're going to place down a glass pane to the side there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 cyan glass panes back. Now at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and then place down an end rod that's going to come off the second to last glass pane here, and we then want to go ahead and skip a space, or skip 2 spaces over, and we're going to go ahead and place down a polished andesite stair, and then a skeleton skull come off the back of the stair. So it will look something like that there on the ends. We then also want to go ahead and grab our polished andesite, and we're going to place down 2 upside down stairs like this. And then we want to go and then place down a row along the stair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 stairs, and then another corner stair here on the front. And we're going to do the same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and another corner stair. So it's going to look just like that. After that's all done, we then want to go ahead and take our skeleton skulls. We're going to place down 1 here, 1 on the back of it, so it looks like that. And we'll also take our iron trapdoors, and we're going to place down an iron trapdoor here, on the side of this, and also on the side here. Now for Java players, we can go ahead and type in the command /give @p Minecraft debug_stick, and by pressing enter with this command we'll get this glowing stick. What we can do is we can left click the trapdoors till we get selected open false, right click them, and we can set them to true so they lay flat against the side there, or the front of the stair. Really nice technique there to kind of close those. If you again don't have access to a debug stick and on Java, you can go and use Birchwood trapdoors as an alternative to that. In addition, for our glass panes here, we want to go ahead and go to the 6th glass pane from the front, and we're going to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull, come off the side of it to both sides. And also we are going to go ahead and grab ourselves a barrier block again, and we want to go ahead and drop down from this, or this can be on the left side, so left side only. So at this point in time, actually, it would be a good point to copy both sides over, so you get something that looks like this here from the top-down view. So again, I would recommend taking the right side, copy it over to the left side, and making sure both sides are squared away. And once you are, I would go ahead and resume the video, and we're going to talk about the one difference here on this layer, which is going to be on the front here. So basically, hopefully at this point in time you went ahead and copied both sides over, and I'm going to talk about the difference. Now the difference here is pretty straightforward. What we're going to do is we're going to drop down from this cyan concrete block with a yellow concrete, or just a block in general, it doesn't really matter, and then we're going to go ahead and place down one more block over, and then we're going to place down a barrier block right here, and then a lever on top of that barrier block, and it's going to basically look just like that. Now if you are not on Java like I am, then we're going to go ahead and then place down a iron trapdoor here. So that's what you can do if you don't have a debug stick, but if you are on Java and do have the debug stick, we're going to place down a block here next to the stair. We're going to place down a lever coming off the side of that block. We'll left click the lever until we get selected face, and it should say wall. We're going to go ahead and then right click it and set it to ceiling. And then we're going to left click it again, selected facing, and we're going to go ahead and then rotate it until it looks like this, and it connects up to that lever like so. So just kind of a nice way there to create this kind of angled support, which kind of pops down for this little device that sticks off the side there. Again, you can use either on the iron trapdoor or this technique. Both work really well. Anyways, though, that is going to conclude everything we have there for layer 5, and with that, we'll probably drop down to our lower layers. Moving into our next layers here, we have layers 1 through 4. For these layers, we're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and going to this bottom section here. We're going to go ahead and go to the second cyan concrete block back. You're going to place down another brick wall. We're going to go ahead and go down from the wall with a black stained glass pane. Behind this, we're going to place down 2 black stained glass full blocks, and then another cyan concrete block, and then a warp trapdoor on the bottom of that block. Then our next section, we're going to place down 2 black stained glass blocks going down, a warp slab, and then a warp trapdoor. Then again, our next row is going to be 3 black stained glass blocks all the way down, a warp trapdoor on the bottom, and then we're going to place down 3 black stained glass panes in this section here. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 1 and 2 of prismarine walls, as well as a black stained glass pane here. In these corners, we're going to place down a warped fence post, and we're going to go ahead and bring these fence posts up a total of 3. We're going to go ahead and bring these black stained glass panes up 3, and then again our warped fence posts up 3 as well. And then right here, 2 black stained glass panes going up, a cyan stained glass pane in the corner, and then a prismarine wall on the very top there. Now what we can do next is if you have a debug stick, you can actually go ahead and modify the direction of connections of the glass panes. So by some trial and error, you can actually go ahead and extend the glass pane so that it looks like it actually connects up with our, with basically our sides here. So it's kind of connecting up there to our fence posts, and it's kind of a cool technique to kind of make that glass look a little bit more fuller, as you can see. And again, this kind of might take some trial and error for you guys. Your directions may be different just depending on how you have this oriented in your world and all that. So that right there is pretty much it for that, the little box there. Also, we have the side here, this little basically diagonal line we created in the previous layer. Coming off this barrier block, we're just going to place down a birchwood fence gate, and we're going to open up toward it. So that's all you have to do there on this left side. Anyways, though, going ahead and continuing on, we're going to go ahead and place down a birchwood sign come off the side of this fence post here, and we then want to go ahead and grab a birchwood fence post, and we're going to go ahead and have it coming down from this skeleton skull. So we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 fence posts coming down. We're going to go ahead and then place down a birchwood fence gate on the middle fence post, and we're going to open it toward the fence post, and then we're also going to place down a birchwood sign on this side here of the fence gate. On the bottom here, we're going to place down an andesite top slab. Then to the sides, we're going to place down 1 and 2 polished black stone walls. And we're going to go ahead and place down our wither skeleton skulls on top of the stairs. So it's going to look like that there. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and place down a birchwood fence gate, going back like so. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a chain here, then another fence gate, and we're going to have this opened up toward that side. And then we want to go ahead and place down a birchwood sign here on the side of that fence gate. We're going to go ahead and place down our chain that goes back like this. Then to the side here, 1, 2, 3, and 4 chains. Then again, we're going to go ahead and go over. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 chains back. And then after we have that done, we want to go ahead and then go to this middle space here, and we're going to go and count our cyan blocks back, or cyan concrete. So we're going to go and start, or rather we'll start from this glass pane. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks back, and then we're going to place down a lever facing downwards. We're going to place down 2 chains going back. We're going to drop down, and then another 2 chains like so. After we have that all done there, we want to go ahead and then grab ourselves our wither skeleton skulls here, and we're going to place down a block, or basically a row of 3 of blocks like this. In our center section, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull straight on, and then we're going to go ahead and place them at an angle here, very slight, so like that, coming off those chains on the outer sides. We then want to go ahead and place down a chain coming down from this block on the other right. then a polished black stone wall, and then another chain going down, followed by a grindstone on the very end. So it's going to sit here on the bottom like so. So just like that. Then after we have that done, we're going to go ahead and place down another row 3 of our concrete across here, and we're going to go and do the same thing. Wither skeleton skull in the center, and then we're going to go and place our wither skeleton skull here. Very slight angle. It's going to be a little tight here to actually get in there. So best way to kind of do it is to go in through this way, and we'll place down our head here at a slight angle. So it's going to look like that. And we'll again just kind of delete those blocks there. Now after that's done, we're going to go ahead and take our chains, and we want to go ahead and place down a chain kind of going back at an angle here from the wall. We're going to go ahead and go back an additional chain, and then one more like this, and actually, sorry, 4 in total going diagonal. Now coming off the 4th one, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone brick wall here, and then one going up so it connects up to that polished andesite stair there, and then we're going to place down a stone brick wall that goes down. We'll then place down a polished andesite top slab on the bottom here of that wall, as well as grabbing our polished black stone stairs and placing down a upside down stair to both sides, stairs on top, and 2 stairs on the back here. So it's going to look like this. Then we want to take our polished andesite slabs. We're going to place down a top slab here. Then we're going to go ahead and go up, slab like this, and then another top slab like that, kind of going up at that angle like so. We'll then place down a lever here, and we're also going to place down a row of polished andesite going this way. So from this slab here, we're going to go and go up with a slab there, and then a top slab, and then same thing, lever, which will flick back like that. Then we want to go ahead and take our chains, and we're going to go ahead and run chains. They're going to go all the way across from this polished andesite top slab to the other side. Just going to fill that in completely there. And we also are going to place down a birchwood fence gate on the top of this top slab, opened up toward that wall, as well as taking our iron trapdoors, and on the bottom of these stone or these polished andesite stairs, we're going to go and place down our iron trapdoors, connecting up to where these trapdoors are on the side. After that is all done, that's pretty much about it. The last thing we do have here is going to be these banners. And the banners here I do want to go ahead and talk about briefly. I'm not going to show you guys how to make them in a loom because they're pretty straightforward to do, but basically it's a black banner. You're going to do a green stripe on the left side and a green stripe on the right side. After you have that done, you're going to then do a black horizontal line across the tops and a black horizontal line across the bottoms. Make sure that the stripe is not splitting the banner in half. It should be that 1/3 kind of stripe that goes on the side vertically. So do make sure that that's the one you're using. And then again, your black horizontal lines across the top and bottom to go ahead and create this design here. Very simple design, and all you're going to do for these is place them on the side here, these polished black stone stairs with the green portion facing toward each other to go ahead and create those wheel designs. And that's kind of it for the main kind of structure here for this front section. Again, any blocks that we placed here, this yellow concrete or anything like that, we can go ahead and delete. Also, we do have a birchwood fence gate that is going to sit on the bottom here of this fence gate. So it is going to look something like that. And that's all it for that. And the very last thing we're going to cover here is going to be the tail. It has like this little tail hook here in the back. And very simple to do. We're going to go ahead and place down a full block coming down from this concrete here. We're going to go back off a polished andesite slab and then a top slab. So it's going to look like that. We'll then go 2 end rods up from this top slab. Then going to the sides here, we're going to go ahead and place down a end rod like so. And then we want to go ahead and then place down a lever here. Now we'll use the same technique that we used before in the front for Java players. Again, placing down a lever like this and going ahead and grabbing our debug stick again and doing basically the same techniques that we used before. Again, just really no kind of good alternative to this. You can go ahead and use a slab or something of that sort as an alternative to the lever. But again, this lever here is going to be kind of the best block to use. But again, you can replace it with a top slab or something like that too if you don't have access to a debug stick. Anyways, though, that right there is going to conclude everything we have there for layers 1 through 4. We have kind of all of our bottom rigging and all that stuff done, and we can go ahead and then move on up to our next layer, which will be layer number 6. Alright guys, so moving into our next layer, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer number 6. For layer 6 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and begin by placing down a cyan concrete block on top of this nether brick upstairs stair, followed by a prismarine wall coming off the front of that block like so. Then on top of the barrier block we have here, we're just going to place down a lever and have it flicked back toward the wall like so. Behind this block, we're going to place down a black stained glass block as well as a black concrete block. You can leave this block or the space open if you do want to do an interior. However, for this build, we will not be doing an interior, so we're going to go and leave this block basically like so. After that's all done though, we're going to then go to the section here where we have that polished black stone wall. We're just going to go ahead and fill in this gappage with a block of netherite like so. And then going back further to the tail, we're going to go ahead and go to the top of this glass pane here. We're going to place down a cyan concrete block. Then one cyan stained glass pane going back on top of that end rod. And then we want to go and take our full blocks and we're going to go and go forward for a total of 14 more blocks like that to kind of fill in this space here. And once you have that done, that's going to basically make your center line, and we're going to go and start working our way out to the sides now. Now, going ahead and start with the front, we're going to place down a glass pane come up the side of this wall, followed by a blue or cyan concrete block, a warped top slab, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks back. We then want to place down a blue stained glass pane here, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4 prismarine walls, a cyan concrete block here, some cyan wool, and then we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cyan concrete back, followed by 1, 2, 3 prismarine walls, and then 1, 2, 3 glass panes. We'll then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 of these blocks back. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 walls, followed by 1, 2, 3 warp stairs, 1, 2, 3 walls, and then a glass pane there on the very end. After we have that done, go ahead and come off the stairs here. We're going to place down 2 stairs like this. Then we want to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 right here. We'll then place down 1, 2 skeleton skulls, and also 1 and 2 on this side as well. So it's going to look something just like that. After that is all done there, we're going to go ahead and then go back up to the front section here, and right on top of the skeleton skull here, we're going to place down a tripwire hook, again on both sides. We'll then take our polished andesite stairs, and we're just going to kind of mimic what we did previously, and this is going to kind of just be using our stairs here. We're going to place down 2 stairs back to back, and actually these stairs down here, we do want to go ahead and make sure that these are just flat ending like that, so it's not going to be like the back there where it's kind of cornered. So we're just going to have 2 normal stairs there, and then we're going to have our skeleton skulls like this back to back like we did before, and we're just going to go ahead and run our stairs back like this, same thing right here, and then we have our corner stairs like that. We'll then take our iron trapdoors and again do the same thing here on the sides. So like this, and that will basically complete like so. And then also we're going to take a birchwood fence post and we're going to place it coming off the side here, this corner stair right there in that location. And that right there is going to pretty much do it for this layer. Pretty simple, straightforward one. And again, take a look at it from up above. This is what we should have from a top-down view with this layer complete. Obviously, again, continue to take what we did on the right side and flip it over to the left side. And once you have both sides done, that is it for layer 6, and we'll move on to layer number 7. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 7. For layer 7 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a warp stair on top of this block here. And then we're going to go back from it with a blue concrete block, as well as a row of 5 of black stained glass blocks. I would recommend, again, if you're not doing an interior for the build, to go ahead and just fill in the space underneath those black stained glass blocks with black concrete all the way, so that it kind of fills in that void. And then also, I'm going to go ahead and place down 2 more black concrete blocks back down the center there. Again, if you are planning on not doing an interior, and just have that area closed off. With that done, that's it for our front section, and then going ahead and moving to our rear. We're going to go ahead and start off by placing down a blue concrete block on top of this cyan glass pane, and then a blue stained glass pane going back from it. We then want to go ahead and take our blue concrete, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 more blocks forward, so a total of 4. If you're on Java, we're going to go ahead and place down a piston. If you're not on Java, I'd probably recommend a warped slab or just a blue concrete block, one of the two, as an alternative. We're going to continue on forward from that piston there, and we're going to go ahead and place down a row of blue concrete that's going to go forward from it for a total of 11 blocks. After that's done, on the sides here, we're going to go and grab our blue stained glass panes. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right here, we're going to place down a skeleton skull come off the sides here of the piston. We can then take our debug stick that we've used before, and we can go ahead and left click the piston until we get selected extended false. prompt pop up, we'll right click it and we can actually get rid of that wood portion, and we're going to be using that for the sloping here for the back of the aircraft. We then want to take our blue stained glass panes. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stained glass panes forward, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prismarine walls, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue concrete. We're going to place down a black stained glass block, and then a black stained glass pane come off the side of that block. We'll take our blue concrete, place it again, black stained glass, then our blue concrete, then our black stained glass, and our pane, our blue concrete, black stained glass, and our pane like that to the side. We'll then place down again 1, 2 blue concrete, black stained glass, and then no pane on that one. And then we're going to place down 1, 2 blue concrete, a black stained glass block, which we're going to go ahead and then place down a black concrete block on the side, so this side here and in the middle. And also going down our middle here, we're just going to place down black concrete behind each one of those glass full blocks. So that just kind of fills that in there and all that. Then after we have that done, we want to go and place down an air brick wall coming off this glass block here, as well as 2 blue stained glass panes going back. And then we're going to take our prismarine walls and we're going to go 2 prismarine walls forward. Behind this prismarine wall here, we will also place down a blue concrete block, as well as here. And then we want to go and place down a blue concrete block here on top of this wall, another black stained glass block here, and then we're going to place down a black concrete block behind it. Then 1, 2, 3 blue concrete, black stained glass, 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 blue concrete, and then we're going to go and place down a blue wool block, followed by a warp slab. And we're going to place down a black stained glass block behind the warp slab, as well as black concrete on the 2 sides here of that glass block. Then another blue concrete block here. And then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black stained glass forward. We're going to place down a piston here. Again, if you don't have access to pistons here, or being able to use the debug stick, you can go ahead and place down a warp stair like that instead. But again, the piston here is going to be your best bet. And on the side of that piston, we are going to go ahead and place down a warped sign, as well as taking our black stained glass panes, going back 1, 2 along the side here, followed by a birchwood fence post, another brick wall, and then a black stained glass block like that. We can also, again, take our glass pane and we can actually extend it again in the direction there toward that fence post as well. And same thing here can be done for the narrow brick wall, just kind of help fill those gaps a little bit better. After we have that all done, we will go ahead and go to our piston, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing we did for the rear there. We're going to go and make sure we right click those, get rid of that wood portion. And actually, real quick before you do that, do place down the skeleton skull here at a slight angle like that instead, and then go ahead and right click your pistons like so. After that is all done, we're going to go ahead and then go to the side windows here, and we're going to go ahead and place down black stained glass panes coming off these 4 windows. Now, like I talked about before, we're going to go and do the same thing here, just kind of extend the glass panes in the directions like this, so they just kind of fill that space better and kind of look more like these bubbled windows that pop off the side there. And again, if you can't do it, then you can't do it. You can just leave the glass pane as is, or you can try to find some kind of other workaround, as there are definitely a few different ideas that you can maybe come up with and do to kind of show that these are windows that pop out, or really just not even include them also is another option for you. Anyways, though, after that's all done, we're going to go ahead and then grab a iron trapdoor, and we want to go ahead and very simply, or actually first before we go and do that, we're going to grab a birchwood fence post, and we're going to place down a fence post here on top of the stair with those trapdoors, and also on top of this one here. We then want to go ahead and grab an end rod. We're going to go back from the fence post like so. Then 1, 2, 3 iron trapdoors. And after we have that all done there, we're going to go ahead and then place down a skeleton skull, come off the side of this block, so a block on top of the fence post, a skeleton skull going forward, so it looks like that there on the side. And after we have that all done there, that's going to pretty much wrap up everything we have here for this layer, to try to make sure I'm not missing anything. And everything does appear to be good to go, except for this section here. We will place down blue carpet on top of these trapdoors, or on top of those top slabs. So just make sure that gets transferred over. Anyways, though, with that all done, that is going to complete everything we have here for layer number 7. Again, here is an aerial overview of what it looks like so far. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, which will be layer number 8. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 8. For layer 8, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a redstone repeater on the top here of this this blue concrete block, so just like that. After we have that done, we're going to then go back from it with a row of 5 again of black stained glass blocks. Then we're going to place down 2 black concrete blocks here on the end of that row, just like that for our front cockpit. That's going to wrap up our front center line, and we're going to go ahead and then move toward the rear. For the rear here, we're going to go ahead and place down a smooth quartz block on top of this blue stained glass pane. And throughout the rest of the tutorial, if I do say quartz, I am referencing smooth quartz, as that's what we'll be using here for the main color for the rest of the top of here of the build. So we have our first quartz block here, then we're going to go and place down 3 more forward, and then a white stained glass pane. We'll also place down 3 white stained glass panes on the side there of those blocks, those 3 blocks like so. We then want to place down white carpet on top of these 2 blue concrete blocks. We're going to go and then place down 2 daylight detectors, 2 quartz slabs, and then if you're on Java, we're going to place down 2 of our pistons. If you're not on Java, I would recommend probably another quartz slab and then a quartz stair right here instead of the 2 pistons. After those 2 blocks, we're going to go and then place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 smooth quartz blocks going toward the front. To the sides here, we're going to place down a skeleton skull at a slight angle on top of this glass pane here right next to the slab, as well as a second skeleton skull back. We're going to go then place down 1, 2 skeleton skulls on the side here. And at this point in time, we can then go ahead and right click our pistons to get rid of that wood portion. Again, as you'll see there, it kind of helps with the sloping there of this kind of spine of the helicopter. Then on the sides here, we're going to place down 2 white stained glass panes and then 2 direct walls like so. We'll follow it up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 quartz full blocks forward. Then 1, 2, 3 direct walls to the side, and then 1, 2 white stained glass panes going back. We're going to go then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 quartz blocks forward. Then a white wool block. Then another black stained glass block on top of this one. And then a quartz top slab coming off the side there of that glass full block. We'll do the same thing we did previously, so black concrete block here on both sides of the black stained glass. And just to kind of close that off like so and kind of create that darker appearance in there. We're going to go then and place down a smooth quartz block, and then we want to take our black stained glass now and going off the black concrete. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 glass panes forward, a glass pane. Then a glass pane here to the side, a birchwood fence post going upwards like so, another brick wall, and then a black concrete block. And just the same thing we did before, we can go ahead and again take our glass panes and we can extend them toward our fence post here, and also our narrow brick wall there can also be extended toward that fence post as well. So it should look something like that there on the side. After that is all done, we want to go ahead and then place down a skeleton skull that is... Or rather, first off, we'll place down a block here on top of these fence posts. And we're going to go and place down a skeleton skull on the inside here, come off those blocks. We'll then just delete those blocks, and those are pretty much out of the way. And we're also going to go ahead and place down a birchwood fence post, come off the side here of this skeleton skull. So it's going to look like so. And then we're going to go ahead and build a block off of this skull here. And we're going to go ahead and place down 1 and 2 end rods like that going across. We'll then delete that block, and we have those 2 end rods just kind of free floating right there. And that right there is pretty much it for this layer. Just trying to make sure, again, we're not missing anything and everything appears to be completed. So that right there is going to conclude everything here for this layer. So with that, that is going to conclude layer 7. Again, I'll give you guys a little bit of an aerial overview of what it looks like. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 9. For layer 9, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go and place down a daylight detector on top of that second black stained glass block in the front here, followed by 2 quartz slabs back, a polished andesite slab, and then a quartz stair. Behind that quartz stair, we are going to be placing down a long row of smooth quartz. It's going to run all the way down the center here of the build for a total of 31 blocks. So again, back from that quartz stair, 31 quartz full blocks back. Right here, you can place down our 2 pistons. If you are not on Java and don't have access to the debug stick and using pistons the way we've used before, you can place down a quartz stair and then a quartz slab as an alternative, but again, the pistons here are going to be the best move. So again, we have our pistons for Java, other versions, a quartz stair and a quartz slab like we did down there. We're going to go then place down 2 quartz slabs back and then 2 of our daylight detectors like that for our center line. Then moving to the very rear, we're going to go ahead and place down a white stained glass pane on top of this white concrete block, white quartz block, and then 1, 2, 3 blocks back, and then a white stained glass pane on the very end there. We're also going to place down 1, 2, 3 white stained glass panes on the side there of those 3 quartz blocks. Now going to the side, we're going to go ahead and go back up to the front here. We're going to place down daylight detectors on the side of these 2 quartz slabs, as well as placing down 2 quartz slabs forward, and then 1 and 2 pistons like that. On the side here of the pistons, you can also go ahead and take your birchwood signs, and you can actually place down birchwood signs here on the sides of the pistons as well if you do want to keep a little bit more of a lighter tone color, a little bit more apparent on the sides. Really not that big of a deal, kind of up to you guys. We're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29 blocks forward. I'm going to go ahead and again double check my count here to make sure that is all good, and it is going to be 29 blocks in length after this section here. Now again, quick thing to cover is an alternative to the pistons here for this section would be probably to place down quartz stairs. So that would also work right there. So you can place down a quartz stair. That would kind of be like this. So back here, and then it kind of goes forward like that. And you can place down 2 stairs right there instead of the pistons. Anyways, at the front here, we're going to go ahead and place down a quartz stair, polished andesite slab, 2 quartz slabs forward, and then a daylight detector. Then on the sides here of the fence post and the wall, or rather the tops I should say, we're going to place down 2 skeleton skulls, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quartz slabs back, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stone brick stairs. We then want to go and grab ourselves an item frame, also our iron bars, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 item frames along the side of the stairs, and we're going to go and place down iron bars in those item frames like that. If you're on Java, we can also place down a birchwood fence post on top of this skeleton skull. If you're not on Java, I would recommend not placing down an item frame on the last stone brick wall and instead placing down the fence post. Just the way that things are coded on Java, we can place down item frames in the same block space as these blocks. However, if you are on a different version, item frames do make up a block space, so you're not able to place down 2 blocks in the same space on other versions. So just keep that in mind and kind of do accordingly whatever works for you on your version. We're going to then go back from the stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4 quartz full blocks, and then 1, 2, 3 of our direct walls, and then 1, 2, 3 white stained glass panes. So just like that, going back. Now after that is all done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a birchwood fence post on top of the skeleton skull here, and then an end rod coming off the fence post there toward the front. After that is all done, that's pretty much it for that section there. We'll also go ahead and take our debug stick here, and for the rear pistons, we can just go ahead and right click those as well. But I think overall that is actually going to be pretty much it for this layer. And just again, doing my rounds, making sure I'm not missing anything, and everything does appear to be good to go. So the one thing also I do want to go and talk about real quick is the banners on the side of the aircraft. This here is kind of the serial number of the aircraft. And it's something that you guys can obviously replicate on yours. This is based off of the serial number on a real aircraft, so you're more than welcome to use this exact numbering, or you can change it, make it whatever you guys want. But basically we have RA, which I believe is kind of like the abbreviation for the Russian Air Force or something like that, used for Russian military aircraft. We have this little dash banner, pretty straightforward, and then we have our numbers here, 04127. And again, you can kind of do whatever you guys want there. It's really not something specific. You can, again, make up the numbers or do something different. But again, like I said, this is based off a real aircraft serial number for this model. But basically, we're going to start on our second quartz block here in this kind of, I guess, mid section. So right before like we really get into the tail. But it's going to be RA and the dash 04127. And then over here on this side, it's going to start on this last block here before we have our piston or our stair here. RA-04127. So just like that on the sides there. And again, I'm not going to cover how to make those banners specifically in this tutorial. There are plenty of tutorials out there that do cover how to make these letter banners and numbered banners out there on YouTube. So I would definitely recommend looking up those and trying to use those before anything. And just going ahead and kind of creating your own numbers and stuff. So overall, that's pretty much about it for that layer number 9, and with that we'll move on to layer number 10. Alright guys, moving into our next layers, we have layer number 10. So for layer 10 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and go to the top here. We're going to place down a direct wall on top of the middle quartz stair there, then a quartz full block behind it. We're going to go then take our cyan concrete, we're going to place down a long row of cyan going down the center here, and it's going to be a total of 18 blocks in length. Then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 quartz full blocks. Again, we're going to place down our 2 pistons. If you do not have access to the pistons, you can place down a quartz stair and a quartz slab instead, but we'll be going ahead and using our pistons here. We're going to go ahead and then place down 2 quartz slabs back and then 2 daylight detectors. After that, go into our vertical stabilizer. We're going to place down a white stained glass pane on top of this block here. Then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 red concrete blocks, and then another white stained glass pane on the end there of that row of 3. On the first 2 blocks, we're also going to place down 2 red stained glass panes. After that is all done there, we want to go ahead and then go back up to the front, and we're going to place down a iron trapdoor here, and then a black concrete block back from it, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cyan concrete blocks, 2 black concrete, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cyan, and then 2 smooth quartz blocks. Again, we're going to place down our 2 pistons or your 2 quartz stairs, like so, and then we're going to place down our 2 quartz slabs. On the side here also, we're going to take our warp signs, and we're just going to place down 4 warp signs here along the sides of the pistons, or these blocks here, and the slabs there, or the full blocks, so it looks like that there. Then we can also go ahead and grab our debug stick, and we can go ahead and get rid of that wood portion and finish our sloping there. Now after that's done, we're going to then go off the side here of this cyan concrete block. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 glass panes forward. We then want to go and grab our prismarine walls. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prismarine walls forward, then a polished black stone top slab, 2 half slabs, and then another top slab. Then taking our prismarine walls, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 forward, and then 1, 2, 3 cyan glass panes like that forward. We're going to go and place down 1 and 2 iron trapdoors on the side here. We'll take our debug sticks and we're going to go ahead and set them open to true, and they're going to lay flat on the side there. Again, you can use birchwood trapdoors as an alternative if you don't have the debug stick. With that though, that is going to wrap up everything there is there for layer number 10 here. Again, take a look at it from up above. This is what it should look like from the top down view. With that all complete, that's it for layer 10, and we'll go ahead and move on up to our next layer, layer number 11. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 11. For layer 11 to go ahead and get started with, we're going to go ahead and take our iron trapdoor to place on the center quartz block. We're going to go back with 2 daylight detectors and then 3 quartz slabs. After that, we'll place down 2 pistons and then 2 black concrete blocks, followed by a row of 4 of our cyan concrete, quartz block, black concrete, and our quartz top slab. After that is all done, we're going to then place down a daylight detector, a quartz slab, then 2 more daylight detectors. We'll then skip a space and place down an air brick fence post on top of that quartz block. After that's done, that's going to complete your front center line, and we're going to go and then move toward the rear. We're going to place down a white stained glass pane on top of this red concrete block, 3 blue concrete blocks back, and a white stained glass pane on the end of that row of blue concrete. And that is it for the tail there. And that's going to complete our center line, and we're going to go and start working our way out to the sides. We'll start off with placing down a quartz slab on top of this block here, and then we're going to go and then place down a daylight detector forward from it. We'll turn that to the night mode, like so. We'll then take our stone brick walls. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, stone brick slabs, and we're going to place down 3 stone brick slabs back, a quartz slab, a piston, a quartz full block, and then we're going to place down 1, 2 black concrete, 1, 2, 3, 4 cyan concrete, and then 1, 2 smooth quartz, and then a smooth quartz upside down stair here on the back. We then want to place down an iron trapdoor to the side here of this daylight detector. Then we're going to place down another daylight detector and another iron trapdoor. You can use your debug stick here to actually go ahead and manually close these if you do want. You can replace them with birchwood trapdoors, or you can set the daylight detectors there to the night mode as an alternative as well. Then going back up to the front here, we're going to place down a skeleton skull on top of this wall right here, so right next to the piston. Again, if you don't have access to the debug stick, I'd recommend probably instead of the pistons, just placing down quartz slabs. So anywhere there's the piston, place down a quartz slab instead. We're going to go then place down a polished black stone slab here, then 2 top slabs and another slab, and then we're just going to take our glass panes, 1, 2, 3 glass panes, and then our white stained glass, 1, 2, 3. So just like that on the sides. Then also for this section here, if you are not on Java, you can go ahead and use a birchwood fence gate, and we're going to go ahead and also use some end rods. So if you're not on Java, you can place down a fence gate here, and then you can go and place down your end rods for a total of 4 going back, and a fence gate like that. But for Java, we will go ahead and do a different design here by going ahead and placing down a block kind of coming out from that space. So it's going to sit like so. And we're going to go then place down a tripwire hook on the sides of that block. We'll then take our debug stick here. We're going to left click the tripwire hook until we get selected facing. And we're going to go and right click it and rotate it so that it connects up to that quartz slab and kind of creates that little rail that runs along the side there of the the engines. And after that's all done, that is pretty much actually it for this layer. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff. That's it for layer 11, and we'll go ahead and move on up to our next layer, layer number 12. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 12. Layer 12 here will be kind of one of our last layers, and our last layers here really will just be covering kind of doing the tail and all that. So layer 12, kind of our last main layer, before we just go ahead and kind of wrap up the main structure here of the build before the props. But basically for this, we're going to start off by going ahead and place down a polished andesite slab on top of that piston there in the front. We can then take our debug stick here for Java players, and we can go and right click them like that to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down 3 quartz full blocks back from the black concrete, a andesite wall, 2 more quartz full blocks, and a quartz slab. We then want to place down a smooth quartz stair here, smooth quartz corner stair, 1 and 2 stone brick full blocks, 1 and 2 smooth quartz blocks, smooth quartz stair, smooth quartz slab, and then a daylight detector like that to go ahead and finish that off. After that is all done there, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves an item frame and also a iron bar. We're going to place some item frames on the side here and then iron bars in those item frames just like that. After that's done, we want to go up from this fence post here at an angle. So it's going to go up and back at an angle like so. For that, and then also on the very back here, we're going to place down a white stained glass paint here on top of this blue concrete block. 3 full blocks going back like that for the tail. And once we have that all done there, that's going to pretty much wrap up everything we have here for this layer. Again, really simple, basic layer. And at this point in time, we're probably just going to go ahead and move into our final layers and go ahead and get it set up in a position to where we can just go ahead and throw the props on the aircraft. Anyways, though, with that, let's move into our last final layers. Alright guys, so moving into our last final layers here, we're going to go ahead and basically get started with this top section here for the rotor kind of housing, and then we have obviously our vertical stabilizer on the rear. So for this to go ahead and get started with, we're going to place down a iron trapdoor here, and then we're going to go ahead and go back with 1, 2, 3 daylight detectors. We're also going to take our iron trapdoors and place them on top of the stone brick slabs there, and we can go ahead and again use our debug stick here to actually go ahead and manually close these. Again, an alternative to these would be to use birchwood trapdoors like so. We're going to go then place down a wall here, and then on top of that wall, we want to go ahead and place down around the wall, we're going to place down end rods. So it's going to look like that there for that. And that really is all we really need to do there. We're going to go ahead and kind of leave that alone for right now, and we'll touch on that a little bit more once we actually get into the main rotors. Now after that, we're going to go ahead and then go to the rear here. We're going to go ahead and go up from this block here for white stained glass paint, and we're going to go ahead and then place down 2 smooth quartz blocks back. We then want to go ahead and place down a white stained glass paint here on the back as well. We're going to place down white stained glass paint here, and then we're going to place down 1 and 2 blocks like so. On this first section of 2 blocks, we're going to place down 2 polished blackstone buttons on both sides, as well as we're going to place down a andesite wall coming off this block here, and then an iron trapdoor on top of it. Now coming off this andesite wall here, we do want to go ahead and grab ourselves a birchwood fence gate. We're going to place down a fence gate like this to the side here, and we'll also take our polished andesite, and we're going to place down a polished andesite block like so. A fence gate coming off the block opened up toward it, and then we're going to place down an end rod coming off all 4 sides here of this block like that. Now after we have that done, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves our polished blackstone walls as well as our sandstone walls. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go up 1, 2, 3, 4 polished blackstone walls, and then a sandstone wall on top. And then for the sides here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 polished blackstone walls, and then a sandstone wall. And then we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and the same thing going down. So just like that, you have your tail rotor pretty much complete. Now we can go ahead and then take a dark oak wood sign here, and we can place it on the side here of the walls. So right here where the end rods are, just to kind of help make that connection look a little bit nicer, and we're just going to do it on both sides there. And that's pretty much about it. After you have that done, you have the rear completed, and with that, that's going to kind of wrap up everything we have here for our final layers of the build. And really all that's left at this point is really just to go ahead and put the main rotors on. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves ready, and we'll be going ahead and moving on to that next. Alright guys, so when it comes to going ahead and doing the blades here onto the aircraft, it's not not too complicated, but it can be a little tricky to go ahead and follow along. So obviously we're going to do the best we can here to go ahead and go through these, but we're going to go ahead and basically go to our main rotor section, which is right here. We're going to go and start off by going ahead and placing down a full block here, and then our full block on top of that. On top of the end rods, we're just going to go ahead and go around, and we're just going to go ahead and very simply place down a polished andesite upside down stair. So again, you're just going to go and do this to all 4 sides, like so. Now after we have that done, on the back stair, so the stair that faces toward the back, we're going to go out to the sides here with stone brick top slabs. And then after those stone brick top slabs, we're going to go ahead and continue on with polished andesite slabs. So we'll grab some from right here, and we're going to place down polished andesite top slab back, and then we want to go ahead and go one out to the side, and then we're going to go and then go one more back from that. And then same thing over here, like so. And that right there is going to kind of get that back section here started. We're going to go and then place down a redstone repeater, which is going to be positioned like so. We're going to place down item frames on these stone brick blocks, as well as a polished andesite block actually in the item frames. For the side ones, it's a little bit easier. We're going to place down a stone brick top slab, then 1, 2, 3 polished andesite top slabs. Again, we're going to place down a redstone repeater, like so. And I mean, same thing can be done for all 4 stairs. So we can just go ahead and do that all the way around to get rid of our stair there, or get rid of our repeater. Then we have our item frame, polished andesite block in the item frame. And after we have that'll finish there, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So just like that. And we'll also take out iron trapdoor, and we're going to place down iron trapdoor on top of those polished andesite blocks there, and also these ones right there. After we have that done, our forward one, again, we're going to be using basically the same technique here. So like that. And then we're going to basically finish that off. So it's going to look something that looks like this here. And it's kind of basically a rough kind of design there of what we have kind of going on. Now we do have some things we do have to go ahead and add on to, and we're going to start off with this middle space. We're going to place down an end rod and then a skeleton skull here at the side. Then we want to go ahead and place down a block here, a skeleton skull come off the side of the block so it fills in that space there. We're going to go then place down a skeleton skull, come off this slab, and then an end rod going forward from it. In this space here, we're going to place down a end rod here, and then a skeleton skull on the side of that block. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing over here. So an end rod come off this stair, then a skeleton skull, and then in this space also, a end rod and a skeleton skull. So you're going to get a design that looks like this here. Now after that's done, we'll take our fence posts. We're going to place down 2 fence posts here, birchwood signs. So it's going to be like that, 2 signs there. Then we have our 2 signs here, and then 1 sign here, our 2 signs, then our 1 sign, and then for this section here we have our 2 signs again. We can't place any in the middle here, and we can't place any on that side, so that's basically all we can do there for it, and that's kind of the main kind of hub there for our rotor and our connections. So that's basically what we want there. If you need to, you can pause the video, do whatever you need to, but that's basically what you want in terms of design there. Now with that all done, we're going to go ahead and now work on our blades. Alright guys, so for our first blade, pretty simple stuff. We're going to go ahead and go to our forward facing one here, and we're just going to go ahead and build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 slabs forward. We're going to then go to the left side of the build, and we're just going to go ahead and place down another row that's going to run right alongside it. So just like that, and that is going to be our first blade, all complete there, facing straight forward. Our next ones are going to be these side ones. Moving into our side ones here really aren't anything too difficult either. It's going to be going ahead and going off this polished andesite slab. We're going to go a total of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alongside it going forward. We're going to go then place down an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see, we have kind of like these 2x5 sections. We have 1, then we have 2, and then we're going to go and do our third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And basically what it's going to kind of do is it's going to continue working its way out to the side here, and we're going to do a total of 6 of these. So we already have 3 done, 4, 5, and 6. So that right there will kind of bring us to our end there. Obviously like that. And you should have a total of basically 6 rows of, or 6 of those kind of sections there going out to the sides. And you're just going to take that same design and copy it over to the other side. And with both sides copied over, this is what we have here for our front plates. At this point in time, we will go ahead and start working our ones out to the side here. These ones are a little bit more complex, so make sure you pay close attention. We're going to start off with a slab here. Then we're going to go out to the side, 1, 2. The outside side again, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go and go 1, 2, 3 again. Then 1, 2, 3. So just kind of continuing to build this back here, kind of section by section. So out of this section here, we're going to go and then go 1 off the side here, and then we want to go ahead and go back 2 more. Then we're going to go and go off this middle one, and then we're going to do a row of 4. Next one here is going to go off the second to last one. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go 1 to the side here, and then we're going to go and go back 1 and 2 more from that. Out to the side here, 1, 2, 3. Out to the side again, 1, 2, 3. Then after that, we're going to go out to the side with 1 out the middle. Then 1, 2. 1 to the side here, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to basically go one last time here with a 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go and do a total of 1, 2, 3, and then after that there's going to be like the 2 on the end here. So it's going to be these 2 here. Or rather, sorry, it's going to be back 1 like that, and it's going to look just like this. So it's going to go back kind of straight like that. Again, here's kind of an overview of what it looks like. It's again a bit of a tricky one to get. It's better to kind of just look down at it and kind of replicate it for yourself. But that right there is basically what you want there for that blade. If you need to, obviously take time to go ahead and pause it and replicate it as you needed. We will go ahead and also take the same design, and we're just going to go ahead and basically put it on the other side of the aircraft. And once we have that pretty much all done, that is going to complete the rotors, and with that, everything we have here for this aircraft. So we go ahead and put it on the air side here, and we get basically something that looks like that there for our rotors. And once we have that all done, that is going to wrap up everything we have here for the Mil Mi-10K Harke. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this design and are able to put it to good use. If you do abuse this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This will be linked from the side of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear in social media sites. And as long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to use it for projects you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. And again, the big source links to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. As always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video description, where you can go and put a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a video request to your choosing. And with that, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's be great to put forward, and I will see you guys next time.